guys, this is Shelly with Shelly Cooks. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be making something called Pasteli. I think that's the pronunciation, I may be wrong. It's just simply a sesame seed bar that snaps, and it's just sesame seeds and honey in it. I'm going to put a little bit of lemon zest in it, not a lot, just a little bit to see if maybe it adds a bit of brightness to that. And it's very, very simple, like I said. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 cups of these sesame seeds, and I'm going to add them to a cookie sheet or sheet pan, whatever you call it, and spread that out evenly. And I have my oven set to 350, and I'm just going to pop these in the oven for 10 minutes. I just want to get them toasted a bit, and I'll be able to tell when they come out if that's good enough. So just spread this out evenly. A nice thin layer. My son mentioned the other day that he used to really like these, but he said he finds that they're actually very artificial tasting now. So here we are today. That's perfect. So I'm just going to pop this in, set the timer for 10 minutes. There we go. Now I need a measuring cup, and I am going to measure out a cup of honey. I'm going to spray it just a bit first with the avocado oil, just to make sure that honey comes out easily when I'm putting it in the pot. And what we're going to do with this honey is we're actually going to, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put this on the heat. I'm going to pop my candy thermometer in. We're going to bring it up to 250. Once it comes to 250, I'm going to grate just a teaspoon of lemon zest into it with it. And then I will put the warm sesame seeds in with that. We'll let that cook for another 3 or 4 minutes and put them on a pan. You'll get to see it all as we do it. So let's add this to the heat now. Okay guys, we've got this, it's slowly coming up to temp. I just checked on our sesame seeds in the oven, and they have 45 seconds left, but I'm going to reset that timer for another 5 minutes because I wanted to I'll get them a little more toasted than they are. Now I just turned the heat down a little bit lower because I want to make sure that our sesame seeds are all set for this when they come out. And the sesame seeds are going to take a little bit longer. So I just turned this down just a bit so that we can slow it down. So we have a few more minutes left yet on our sesame seeds. I think our sesame seeds are pretty good. They're a little bit brown, very slightly golden in color, but I could smell them, and that's what was more important than the toasting. With most nuts, when you can start to smell them, you know that the oils are being released and that they're good to go. So we're going to bring this up to 250. When this gets to 250, we're then going to put our sesame seeds in here. And I'm also going to put some zest in there, some lemon zest. So I'm just going to get that ready. Of course, when you use lemon zest, just make sure you only get the yellow. The white pith is actually very bitter. So you completely ruin the effect you're looking for. I don't want that boiling over, but let me turn it down a bit. When it reaches that 250 mark, we'll put these in, our sesame seeds in, and you could even put vanilla in if you prefer. Or you could just leave everything out and just have the flavor combination of the honey and the sesame seed. So I will put that all in and then roll it out on the counter to just about a quarter, maybe less, even less than that, of an inch thickness. Okay, we're at 248. absolutely love this thermometer. If anyone is in the market for one, this one is really, really good. I've had a few, and this is probably my favorite. We're at 250. So 249, 250 again. I'm going to put all of that in. Give it a little swirl to make sure we have all of that. Take this out. Off. Oh gosh, just with that you could smell the lemon already. And now I'm going to put our sesame seeds in. Give that a good stir. Just going to lift the pot off the heat just a little bit to reduce the heat just for a second until we get this stirred in completely. There, and it's back on the heat. And now we're going to just let this cook for 4 minutes. And I am going to set my timer and we'll keep stirring it for that 4 minutes. Guys, we're coming down to the last few seconds. And these have actually toasted up or colored more in this honey, which is awesome. So they've got a little more color to them. There we are. Turn that off. There we are. So I am going to turn that heat off. I'm going to add a little pinch of salt, maybe less than 1/8 of a teaspoon, because anytime I have something sweet, I often like to offset it with something with just a little bit of salt to bring that sweetness out. Okay, now I'm going to just pop my vanilla jar here if I can get it. And I'm going to add just about a teaspoon of vanilla in there now. Maybe a teaspoon and a half. So we've got the flavor of the lemon and the vanilla in this. And we're going to give this a good, nice, good stir. And so we can get that salt and flavorings worked through it. Okay. It's a little bit of a mess if you're not careful with the sesame seeds going everywhere, but I think it's going to be well worth it. So now I'm just going to put this out onto my parchment paper. I have another piece of parchment paper that is going to go on top of it, and we're going to roll it out. And it is hardening up really quickly. So I'm going to have this other piece of parchment. And I'm just going to smooth it out like this. I want to make sure it'll go off the parchment paper. There we are. And we're going to make them as thin as we can on this because that's going to give us the nice crispy, nice thin crispy bars. How beautiful does that look? So inexpensive to make too. And I think when you buy them, it's like 75 cents just for one. Should be watching the camera a little more. I'm not very good at this. I say that all the time. I like it better when my brother's here. I don't have to worry about that stuff. There we are. There we are. Oh my gosh. I think this is going to be really good. Aren't we funny as mothers the minute our kids say they like something or they think about something or whatever it is? We want to make sure that we make it for them. Here we are. And that is certainly nice and hot, I'll tell you that much. I made a little bit of a mess, but I'm not too worried about that. So, apparently, in 15 or 20 minutes, we will be able to cut these. that wasn't too bad. A little bit of a mess to clean up here. Let me see how this tastes. Oh, that's really good. Oh, wow. That is delicious. We'll be back when I can cut this. Guys, it's only been a few minutes, maybe 5-7 minutes. But because this is going to get rather crisp, I've decided that I'm actually going to cut it now before it gets too hard. And that's probably the best thing to do. So I'm just going to square it up first of all. These will just be like little bits that we can nibble on. There. Still treats. And I'll bring this across. There we are. So, just pull that out. And this. There we go. It is really, really delicious. There we are. And so for the rest of these, I'm just going to cut them and just leave them, not separate them. I'll separate them once it's hardened. But it'll just be easier to cut them now. That'll do. Not great measurements, but it's cut. And I'm going to do the same thing with these. Okay guys, so I just decided to ask my son, he doesn't want to be in the video of course, but I just wanted him to try this and tell me what he thinks.
That's good.
You like it?
Yeah.
It'll get a little harder.
Yeah,
it's still a little soft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good.
Thank you. Not overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, give it a try, guys. I think you'll really like it. Thanks for joining me. Give us a thumbs up. Please like and share the video. And we'll see you in the next one. God bless.